So John Jones just retired without fighting Tom Aspinall, and I can't believe people used to compare me to this cokehead. I've been clean my entire career, defended my belt 11 times without beating my wife or cheating with steroids. I'm the real GOAT. While John was out here getting suspended for cocaine and steroids, I was actually cleaning out my division and being a professional. This dude's been running from real competition his whole career, and now he's proving it by ducking Tom Aspinall. I never needed performance-enhancing drugs to dominate, just skill and heart. John's legacy is built on cheating and ducking fights. Tom Aspinall would have exposed this fraud completely. I'm pound for pound the greatest of all time, not this steroid-abusing woman beater.
Right, so John Jones has officially retired, and I've got to say, I called this months ago. I literally said I would retire John Jones without ever fighting him, and look what happened. This man's been ducking me for over 600 days, and I predicted he'd rather quit than face me. John, you absolute bottle job. I told everyone you were scared of me, and you just proved it to the entire world. You'd rather go down in history as a coward than get knocked out by me in the first round. I said I'd end your career without throwing a punch, and that's exactly what happened. You're not the GOAT, John. You're the greatest quitter of all time. I'm the real heavyweight champion, and I retired you from my couch. Cheers, mate.
Guys, this John Jones retirement is the biggest joke in MMA history, and Dana White should be embarrassed. Dana spent the last 2 years sucking John off, protecting him from Tom Aspinall, making every excuse in the book for why this fight couldn't happen. Dana calls me a pussy for asking tough questions, but he spent 24 months on his knees for John Jones. And for what? So John could retire like a coward anyway? Dana enabled this whole charade, gave John everything he wanted, and John still chose to quit rather than fight the real champion. This is what happens when you let fighters dictate matchmaking instead of doing your job. Dana got played harder than anyone, and now he's left looking like a fool. Tom Aspinall deserved better, the fans deserved better, and Dana should be ashamed.
Man, I can't believe I'm saying this, but John Jones just proved he's the biggest coward in MMA history. This dude spent years talking about being the GOAT, beat me twice with dirty tactics, and now he's running away from Tom Aspinall like a scared child. John, you piece of shit, you had one job, defend your belt against the real champion. Instead, you chose to retire and protect your fake legacy. Tom Aspinall would have knocked your ass out cold, and you knew it. I may have lost to you, but at least I never ran from a fight. You're not the GOAT, John. You're the greatest coward of all time. Tom Aspinall is the real champion, and you just proved you were never worthy of that belt.
Ladies and gentlemen, the bad guy here with some breaking news. John Jones has officially retired, and I've got 3 words for you. I told you so. This guy's been a fraud since day one, and now he's proving it by running away from Tom Aspinall like he ran from that pregnant lady in Albuquerque. John spent his whole career ducking real competition. He ducked me when I was calling him out, and now he's ducking the one guy who would expose him completely. Tom Aspinall would have turned John into a highlight reel, and John knew it. So he chose to retire like the coward he's always been. The American Gangster called it first. John Jones is a paper champion who just proved he's made of tissue paper.
So the so-called GOAT just retired without fighting Tom Aspinall, and I gotta keep it 100. This is the most cowardly shit I've ever seen. John's been talking about being levels above everyone, but when a real killer like Tom Aspinall shows up, he runs away like a little bitch. This dude used to call me out, talking about moving up to heavyweight, but now he's scared of a British boy who would sleep him in the first round. John, you're a fraud, bro. You spent years ducking real competition, and now you're proving it to the world. Tom Aspinall is the real champion, and you just showed everyone you were never on his level. Stay retired, pussy.
Holy shit, guys. John Jones just retired without fighting Tom Aspinall, and I gotta tell you, this is the most disappointing thing I've ever seen in combat sports. Look, I've been calling John's fights for over a decade. I've seen him at his best. But this is straight up cowardice, man. Tom Aspinall is a fucking savage. That dude finishes people in under a minute, and John saw those highlights and said, nope, I'm out. I've been smoking DMT and thinking about this, and even the machine elves are telling me John's a pussy. This is like if a silverback gorilla saw a honey badger and decided to become vegetarian. John would rather go down as a quitter than get knocked out by a British killer who moves like a middleweight but hits like a truck. It's entirely possible that John Jones was never actually that good. Maybe he was just on better steroids than everyone else. Jamie, pull up that video of Tom Aspinall destroying Curtis Blades. John saw that shit and his butthole puckered up tighter than a nun's asshole. What a disappointment, man.
Hey, Triple C here, and I've got to address this John Jones retirement situation. This dude just proved he's the biggest fraud in MMA history. John's been calling himself the GOAT while I was out here beating real killers in 2 divisions, and now he's running away from Tom Aspinall like a scared little girl. This man would rather retire than get his ass kicked by a British savage who would have turned him into a meme. John, you're a coward, bro. You spent years ducking real competition, and now you're showing the world your true colors. I may be retired, but at least I went out on my shield. You're going out on your knees, begging not to fight Tom Aspinall. Pathetic.
Assalamu alaikum, guys. You know, John Jones retired without fighting Tom Aspinall, and this is very bad for sport. You know, this guy, he talk about being GOAT, but real champion, he no run from fight. Tom Aspinall, he call out John Jones for a long time, and John Jones, he just run away like scared chicken. This is not what champion do. When I was champion, I fight everyone. Conor, Dustin, Justin, I no choose easy fight. But John Jones, he choose to quit like coward. Tom Aspinall, he is real champion now. John Jones, he brings shame to sport with this behavior. In Dagestan, we have saying, real man faces fear. John Jones, he no real man. He just scared boy who run from Tom Aspinall.
John Jones just retired. And you know what? Maybe Colby Covington was right about you all along. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Colby called you a fraud years ago when y'all were roommates, and now you're proving him right. I defended my belt against every killer in my division. Masvidal, Burns, Edwards, I never ran from nobody. But you see one dangerous contender and you quit like a bitch. Tom Aspinall had you shook so bad you'd rather retire than get embarrassed. I may not like Colby, but damn, he saw through your fake tough guy act from day one. You're not built like a real champion, John. Real champions face their fears. Cowards run away and make excuses.
What's up, you filthy animals? I've been telling y'all for years that John Jones is a fraud, and now he's proving me right by ducking Tom Aspinall like the coward he's always been. See, I lived with this fake tough guy for 2 years at Iowa Central, and I saw the real John Jones, a roid-raging psychopath who couldn't handle real competition even back then. While I was grinding and becoming a real champion, John was juicing and beating women. I called him out years ago for being fake, and now the whole world sees it. John would rather retire than get his ass kicked by Tom Aspinall because he knows he's not built for real wars. I've been exposing this clown since we were roommates, and finally everyone sees the truth. Chaos always wins, baby.
Well. John Jones has retired rather than fight Tom Aspinall, and I've got to say, what a fucking coward. You know, even Khabib Nurmagomedov, that Dagestani rat who I despise, at least he fought everyone they put in front of him before retiring. That smelly bastard never ducked a fight. But John Jones, this so-called GOAT, is running away from Tom Aspinall like a scared child. Even my biggest enemy had more balls than you, John. Khabib may be a boring wrestler, but at least he was a warrior. You're just a fraud who built a fake legacy on steroids and woman beating. Tom Aspinall would have slept you faster than I slept Aldo, and you knew it. You're not fit to lace Khabib's boots, and I fucking hate that guy. Pathetic.
John Jones officially retired last night, and I'm gonna tell you exactly what I think about it. The guy's a fucking duck. There, I said it. I've been stroking this guy's ego for 2 years, and he just creamed all over my face. I've been in this business for 25 years, and I've never seen a champion run from a fight like this. John Jones spent 2 years ducking Tom Aspinall like he was dodging a pee test. The fans knew it, I knew it, and deep down, John knew it too. He fought Daniel Cormier twice, went to war with Gustafsson, but suddenly Tom Aspinall is too scary? Give me a fucking break. John would rather retire than get his ass kicked by a 31-year-old Brit who's been calling him out for 600 days straight. So congratulations, John. You successfully ducked the biggest fight in heavyweight history. You chose to protect your legacy instead of defending it. The fans deserve that fight, Tom deserved that fight, and you robbed everyone of it because you were scared. Tom Aspinall is now the undisputed heavyweight champion, and John Jones will be remembered as the guy who ran away when it mattered most. That's his legacy now. Not GOAT, but the greatest ducker of all time. No, leave me the fuck alone while I go ice my jaw from all this slurping.